read the title, you know what this means. I'm the one first thing all the 107 subscribers. If you're new to the channel, hit the like button and subscribe and hit the notifications if you want to see more. So, the worst superhero show I've ever seen is right now about to be revealed. I didn't want to show it on the cover because that was the worst idea to me. My friends were telling me, you should really, really watch this show. It's so good. So I said no and no, and then I decided to finally watch it once the quarantine happened. I regret watching this show. I really do. And I begged myself not to try to talk it in to do a review. But, God, why did I do this? People said it got good at the end. No, it didn't. Let's get into the show and let me talk about it. I didn't take pleasure in talking about the show because many people would now call me I don't like anything led by females. And that's not true because my favorite superhero shows right now are Stargirl, and if Jessica Jones wasn't canceled, or Luke Cage or Daredevil wasn't canceled, they would be right behind it. But this show, when CW is making any female or any superhero show now, it's horribly written out for these characters. Like, okay, so when this show first premiered, when it was even talked about, I had hypes for it. After reading the comics, I was like, I'm ready for this show. It's going to be awesome. The story arc, I don't care what anybody says about the acting, but the story is great. They switched up the whole story arc. For some reason, I believe, because they didn't want it to seem too gory. But still, this character came out as a knockoff of, well, Batman. I'll give my props to Supergirl. Number one, they said, let's make her own person. Let's give her a different story arc. And number two, let's make sure she's living in a different city, so it doesn't appear that she's doing something that Superman's doing. And this, Kate is in Gotham. She's basically wearing Batman's suit, which was the worst plotline I could ever think of. Like, as a character, Kate literally put on Batman's suit, said, I'm not going to let a man take credit for a woman's work, when you literally took his work, took his tech, and put the suit on, and decided, hey, let me be Batman. What was you going to expect people to think? You're wearing Batman's suit. You are literally looking like Batman. Batwoman, on the other hand, distincted herself from literally being Batman because her costume is colorful, and so is Nightwing. His costume looked different. But with Batwoman, you can put her in a different city and it would have been better. They decided, let's put her in Gotham. Let's have her wear basically Batman's suit, but make it fit her. Let's do all of that. Ignore the comic book storyline and make a generic superhero TV show that really no one will actually really be interested into. I thought the show was going to be Arrow and Daredevil, Arrow Season 1, kind of with Daredevil in it. But with this show, I love the story arc from the comics. Okay, let me explain for a short summary. Kate's father is in the military. Her and her mother and her bodyguard, not her sister, are kidnapped by these dudes. They basically hold them hostage, kill Kate's mother and bodyguard right in front of her. Her father comes in to save her with military before she can be killed. And she later grows up, and during this dude is trying to rob her, she beats this dude up after getting kicked out of the military because of her relationships. And then what happens is that Batman drops down, but he could not stop the dude because Kate already beat him up. He says, don't make it a habit. And she takes that and decides, let me try to become a superhero myself. Her dad makes her like a ninja suit, and she literally doesn't do anything with it, but later makes her own kind of suit and becomes Batwoman, and that's all her story. She even used guns in the comics. So with this, I didn't like, because they literally said, she's literally saying stuff like, oh, I am better than Batman and stuff like that. Like, she's saying things like, I'm better than Batman. Just watch.
The city needs Batman, and I am not Batman. But maybe I'm better, because I'm here.
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
What I'm saying is that Kate is saying that she's better than hand-to-hand combat fighting Batman, who's done more than you have done in a span of the years that took place in this show, and you're better than Batman? Come on now. We both know, Kate, that she's basically lying and trying to make herself seem like she's more sophisticated. I don't know what went on in the writer's room, but still, this is the worst storylines I've ever seen put to the screen. Let's get back and show you more problems. Opinion, Alice as a character was pretty boring. if you didn't know, I'm about to spoil it for you. This is Kate's sister. I literally knew this right when watching the episode after learning that Kate had a sister. It was so bland and just so proper-y. Like, it got so generic. Like, that's maybe one of the problems with this show is it was so generic when it came to anything. Like, not ripping off using the same villains and using generic plot lines. Like, literally, this sister would have probably been revealed at least in Arrow season 7 or something like that. This instead is revealed in season 1. Like, Alice was a pointless character. Her story arc with me was pretty stupid. Like, they didn't even know they want to be the main villain. Like, she gets set up in Arkham. She does all this crazy stuff for no reason. Like, she is basically the weakest villain yet. And they decide, let's make her the character. Hush was another character that got a lot of hate. At least in Titans season 2. Sure, some of the stuff was boring, but I could find some enjoyable things in like High Top Films, who couldn't find anything because he didn't give it a chance. I could at least find some at least enjoyable moments in that show, unlike in Batwoman, where every moment to me was just cringy and made me just want to go to sleep and bore myself to death. The scene you're watching right here is where Kate's about to mess up some traffickers. Just watch how this scene is basically shown. There's no audio because I took it away so it doesn't get demonetized, but just watch how it's shown through this fight scene. Well, give it a couple minutes though, so yeah. I'll get on to more in it, but as you're seeing right now, the traffickers are luring, as you will see this scene right here. I don't know how to say this, but this is the worst fight scene I've ever seen. Like, it's worse than the Arkham video games. Love the Arkham video game fights, but this is trying to recreate that. I mean, I wish that we got to see more of her fighting in color, in daytime, unlike other shows, because, like I said in the Stargirl review, I love the scenes during nighttime when she was fighting, because these darker areas, they're so more colorful, but when she was in daytime, it kind of looked unrealistic to me, so it comes to her scenes, it doesn't work like this. Another factor, this Gotham looks bland as crap, even when they're running her fight scenes. It looks like a bland, regular city to me, for even in any other Batman media, it looks better, and even the Elseworld crossover, the city was supposed to be dead and look better than what it looks exactly like in this show, for some reason. So, I'm not going to take this away from Ruby Rose, as Ruby Rose is a great actor. She's a good actor, but her Batwoman comes off as bland, as the character didn't have much to her in tone or speaking, which fits her perfectly. But to come off to be a knockoff of Supergirl being the cousin of Batman, she came up pretty bland in this story arc. Like, her whole character is, I am her cousin, I'm his cousin, I'm here to fight crime and beat up bad guys. Like, she's a great actor. I loved how she played Batwoman. Then she did pretty good in this. I feel like it's one of the underrated things in this show, as much people love to hate on it, including me. Her acting kind of saves the show. Some of the acting, like the person that plays Luke, does a great job in Marcy. They are the only actors I feel like, these three actors feel like, care for the show, while everyone else treats it like a soap opera or something that they really don't know. It's like filming the Joel Schumacher Batman things. It literally diverses from what it is to become something like, I feel like these three actors really took themselves seriously and took the roles, while everyone else plays it like a soap opera, or when they cast the villains, like, the villains were so low and bland, because literally the whole story arc includes one villain comes in, including the Alice story arc and her dad's Crow's organization. That's what it was. Like, in let's take an answer for Black Lightning. This show doesn't have more villains per se, as it includes more of a gating story arc, which I really loved about Black Lightning. It hasn't had a downfall yet in 3 seasons, which is pretty good about it. I didn't watch it when it first premiered. I didn't feel like I'm watching a little bit of Arrow and stuff in Flash, so why try to do another show right now? I said I'm going to watch it when it's all over. So I did that. It's actually a good season. Didn't hate it. But going on to this season with season 1 of Batwoman, like I said before, it's pretty bland as a character, Ruby Rose. Everyone in general played the characters bland, but them 3 actors that played Luke, Ruby, and stuff, like, they are literally the only ones that really, I feel like, cared for the characters. Like, everyone else felt like they were just doing a soap opera, just getting waved a check in front of their face to say, hey, just do these lines and just say I'm bland. Like, the host, this, like I said before, when she was literally fighting in nighttime, they literally looked horrible. Like, they were going for an Arkham feel. But when she was fighting in daytime, like in the Crisis, looked beautiful. Like, wow, I can actually see her fight scenes. They look perfect. Or when she was in rooms where there was lighting around, didn't look bad at all. But when she's in darker areas, it kind of took away from it. And like I said before, wasn't Gotham supposed to be a horrible city? We never said the city's already dead. I guess not, because literally the only thing, why are these people scared anymore? Like, I see why Batman retired. Like, nothing bad has happened in the city. Like, seems like these crow dudes haven't done anything wrong unless these rabbit people have come up. Like, all I've seen is trafficking, and that's really all, unless you count these dudes like Hush and every other villain who's basically locked up in Arkham. They basically killed off the Joker, which means that you're taking off the biggest villain on any list of these super bad guys. Like, they literally took off the biggest villain on the list, which was Joker. I left the Riddler and all these other villains basically left up in cells. So, what other villains were introduced? I don't know. Like, they introduced the Hush, and that was kind of horrible how they did him. Because he could have had... What was his point in this show? They were just saying, hey, let's just wave these characters around for reasons. Like, Hush is a great Batman villain. He's one of the best Batman villains behind the Joker. How they introduce him and play him is horrible. They literally mess up the Hush, and I don't blame people for hating on that. Like, I see why they would. You're bringing in the character who served no purpose to this because he served a purpose to Batman. The Joker could basically be anybody's villain, kind of. Like, you can literally put him with Superman. As Superman's fighting the Joker, you could say, but Superman would defeat the Joker. The Joker has a little bit more smarts at a momentum standpoint. He would at least drop Superman insane, unlike Lex Luthor. So, that's why he's on the Legion of Doom and all them teams and stuff, too. So, with her story arc, it's washed up story arc of using other villains and said, let's kill Joker. Like, you're set up Alice as a villain. I feel like a villain that you could have perfectly set up that doesn't get a lot of credit gets the Riddler. A great villain in my form. You killed off the Joker. Why not bring this dude out? Like, the Riddler is a great villain. Like, he's basically the Joker, and I feel like he's always been disrespected as a villain of Batman. So, giving him a chance to kind of play a more toned in role would have been great. But Alice takes up the whole story of the show. Like, I wish that her story arc didn't take up the whole season. As, hey, Alice could have got captured. No more Alice. Let's have her in prison for the rest of the season and good on. But there's more storylines that go with Alice, so it kind of goes on to ruining the show. This is why I didn't really like the show, because with Batwoman, it's like, hey, I'm Batwoman. This is one of the greatest TV shows. You should watch it because it's Batwoman. It doesn't work because it's how it went at itself. Like, the storylines, the plot lines. Like I said, I was hyped up for the show. I was hyped up for these two shows. Well, these shows, including season 2's of shows coming out. Like, I was hyped up for Stargirl. And Stargirl lived up to the hype. I love that. It lived up to the hype. When I first watched it, I watched it before it came on CW. So, I had to see episodes before that. I loved it. And I was like, this is awesome. Batwoman, on the other hand, didn't live up to my hype. Because I was hoping it would be like kind of like Arrow season 1. Mix some a little bit of some feels of Daredevil stuff. It didn't go that route. I didn't think it would be this bad, but Batwoman was this bad. And let's compare this to other Like, I was waiting for Doom Patrol Season 2. I already know how I feel about that season. I didn't like it like I liked Season 1. So, yeah, Titans, I really didn't even watch Season 2 of it. I, like, watched a couple episodes. It really wasn't good to me. I'm not going to bash it, like I said before, because I found some enjoyable things in Season 2, unlike in Batwoman, where I really couldn't find anything enjoyable about except for 3 actors in the show. Like, everything else about it looked horrible. Like, the fight scenes were horribly filmed. The story arcs were horribly handled. The writing was horribly handled. The plot holes were horribly handled. Like, they show us what Bruce Wayne looks like. A great actor who looks perfect for Bruce Wayne, to where we'll never get to see him any other time. Not just that, I'm going to finish off with. They literally introduced Kevin Conroy's Batman on the Crisis. Like, so that was basically your Batman. He's the Bruce Wayne. But we just seen in her universe that his Batman was old and stuff. He was younger. This version of Bruce Wayne is just the old Kevin Conroy. Nope, it was the worst way to introduce him as Batman by just killing him off. So yeah, with that season in my mind, I feel like that Season 2 with a new actor, I don't know how it's going to be. Even with the new casting, it's going to be a bit hard to handle. But like I said before, this season looks, I'm hoping Season 2 will be better than Season 1, because some shows in general I didn't like Season 1 of, but got onto Season 2. Like Iron Fist, I didn't like Season 1 of that show, but Season 2 was an okay season to be. I'm not going to say it was the best season. There was not many shows I like that when Season 2 comes out, but some shows can get in like at that level. But with this show, Batwoman, I don't even know if there's any chance of it redeeming itself because of how it went for story arcs, went for horrible details. Like, let's compare it to Stargirl again. A show that literally, in every way, I'm pretty much going to do a review on the best superhero show of this year, and it's probably going to be Stargirl. I'm going to spoil that right now. It's going to be Stargirl because this is the best superhero show this year, because name any other superhero show that really was on its level this year. Like, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. ended, and that hasn't been good in years. Arrow ended this year, and it wasn't even that much of a good season. Flash was on the off and on season, you know that. Black Lightning was okay, but I'm not going to say it was better. So, Stargirl is the literally only show I can say, hey, it deserves my award for the best superhero series I've seen this year in general, because how it went at itself, how the writing was, how the tone was, how everything, unless only one thing I could really critique at it was the fight scenes in general when it came to daytime and nighttime scenes. I feel like at nighttime they really did well with them scenes. Daytime they looked so bland and unrealistic and looked like they were in small areas, while at nighttime they were still in smaller areas, but using them in bigger spaces filming. Like, wow. So with Batwoman, this is the worst show I've seen, superhero show I've seen, and literally this is the worst one. I thought Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., I didn't love that show, but it's not the worst. This show is the worst. Like, I don't even know what to say about it. Like, there's a reason why there's no more, because I can't show you no more about it, because it's always pretty much bland to me. Like, this isn't the worst continuity. Like, Birds of Prey, that's not a good show either. In its timeline, it could have been good, but it wasn't good at all. I've seen it. Trust me, I've seen it. You can watch them on YouTube. I've seen it. I really didn't like it. I thought it was okay for the point of its timeline, but not good. So, yeah. Anything really that I can say that was at least related to Batman continuity that's been good is, I don't even know, because there's nothing Batman related continuity that's a spinoff that's been good. Like, Birds of Prey was horrible. Well, I'm not gonna say horrible. It was okay. The TV show, not the movie. Don't get it twisted. The movie was an okay movie too. Like, I didn't hate that. That was a pretty good movie though. With Batwoman, I was hoping that I would finally get me a good female-led superhero show that was superhero oriented, because Jessica Jones wasn't even a superhero show. I didn't love Supergirl. I love Stargirl, so that's become the show to me to watch, to say, hey, I can actually watch this show and like it, like Jessica Jones, until Jessica Jones got canceled. So yeah, like Batwoman, I was hoping it was gonna be good, but it failed to be the best show ever this year because of writing, directing, and all of it. So, Batwoman is the worst superhero show I've ever seen. Do you agree with me? I know a lot of people hate the show too, not just me. So you can't just say that. So yeah, let me know in the comments below. If you're new to the channel, hit the like button and subscribe. And I just want to thank you all for subscribing.